Alberta's teachers speak out.
Very frustrated, emotionally exhausted by the whole thing.
A protest just before they're ordered back to work. An alarming number of pedestrians killed on Calgary roads this year. And the search for a driver in a hit and run. And reaching out to Calgarians.
We can still have our youth attend this program of remembrance and understanding stories of our fallen.
The teacher strike won't end a lesson in Canadian history.
CTV Calgary, local breaking news with Ian White.
Good afternoon. Premier Daniel Smith says teachers can expect to be legislated back to work on Monday. Today, teachers rallied at the legislature to show how they feel about that. Many teachers came in on school buses from Calgary and other communities to attend. The crowd grew throughout the afternoon with thousands showing up to wave signs and make speeches. Many say they're frustrated with how the province has handled bargaining. Stephanie Thomas joins us from McDougall Centre. And Stephanie, teachers are not backing down despite the threat of being forced back to work.
Ian, teachers tell us that they want their voices to be heard, even as all their bargaining opportunities are virtually shut down by the government. Now, teachers from across the province rallied outside the legislature. Bill 2, known as the Back to School Act, will be tabled on Monday. With debate limited to 1 hour and a UCP majority, it's likely to be pushed through quickly. Now, Smith told reporters that teachers, students, and caregivers are exhausted by the strike, and legislating its end is the best way to get back to school. Now, teachers haven't been getting paid while on strike, but they are still committed to having their demands confirmed in a new agreement with the province.
Well, we're definitely a united front. We're saying things aren't okay in the classrooms, and we're there. We're sending that message as united teachers all together.
Very frustrated, emotionally exhausted by the whole thing. And I think the part for me is just knowing like how little government is moving and how they are not like budging.
Now, this is all happening as Alberta's chief electoral officer has just approved the petition to recall Education Minister Dimitrios Nicolaides as an MLA. Now, just over 16,000 signatures are needed to be collected from the Calgary-Bow riding by January 21st. This is the first application approved under the UCP's Recall Act. Ian?
Thank you, Stephanie. Alberta's first bill of the fall session is drawing criticism, not for what it does, but for what it doesn't do. Bill 1, the International Agreements Act, lets the province reject international treaties signed by Ottawa. The government says it's about preserving Alberta's sovereignty. But the Premier couldn't name a single treaty that has ever been a problem. Critics say it's purely symbolic.
They can assert all the sovereignty they want, but it doesn't mean anything. And I would describe it nicely as the Seinfeld bill. It's a bill about nothing, my friend, nothing.
Bill 1 is one of 14 pieces of legislation the UCP government hopes to pass this session. The Alberta government has settled a lawsuit with a coal company after the province reversed course on coal mining in the province. Evolve Power will receive $95 million in taxpayers' funds. That follows a decision by the province to revoke coal mining licenses in the Crow's Nest Pass. Another company, Atrium Coal, will get $142 million from the government after it lost its coal license in Alberta. The province still has a lot of work to do on its plan to expand access to private diagnostic services. Jordan Canagan joins us with more. And Jordan, the health minister, says the policy is still being written.
The public engagement process hasn't even started, but the Premier and Health Minister already announcing the plan to allow more Albertans to pay for screening such as CT scans and MRIs out of pocket and possibly have those costs covered by the provincial government. Adriana LaGrange says they're still establishing detailed guardrails to make sure that people who are paying for scans aren't bumping people who have them ordered by their doctor. Health Canada says it's working with Alberta officials to make sure that access to care is based on medical needs, not someone's ability to pay for it. Data from the Canadian Institute for Health Information shows wait times for MRIs and CT scans increased in Alberta in 2024 compared to the year prior. Critics argue this adds more strain to doctors who are already overburdened as people get more scans and results reviewed by physicians. The province says the changes will allow people to proactively seek care if they pay for it, and they would get the money back if a serious condition is found.
We look at it as a significant or critical health condition that refers a medical issue that needs to be addressed. It's a serious threat to personal health, but we are going to further define that as we do this engagement and as we bring forward the policy and the legislation next spring.
Well, the Alberta Medical Association says that, of course, it wants to see wait times come down, but it says doctors need to be part of the conversation when it comes to crafting this legislation to make sure that Albertans who need that screening aren't being pushed down the list. Legislation is being worked on. It's expected to be introduced in the spring. Ian?
Jordan, thanks very much. 5 workers were injured after a manhole explosion near the BMO Centre. Calgary Fire says NMAX was working underground at the time of the explosion around 8 a.m. 5 people were injured. 4 of them went to hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. Some fire was briefly visible, but crews extinguished it right away. 2 people have been injured at a work site in the Northwest. Firefighters responded to an incident involving a large industrial propane tank. The injured workers went to hospital for treatment. Occupational Health and Safety is investigating. The city is finally moving forward on a new water feeder main for North Calgary. The project has been on the books for years but remained unfunded. Then the 2024 water feeder main break happened. For 2 months, Calgarians had to restrict their water use because there's only one other feeder main to supply the city. The new line will tie into the Bearspaw water treatment plant and provide water to existing and future communities in the Northwest. Construction has begun, and the city says the line should be in service by the end of 2029. Aren't we lucky with this incredible weather at the end of October?
I know. We're about 7 degrees above normal for today, and we have more warm weather in our forecast here, so we're not done with it just yet. There will be a difference, certainly, that you will notice for next week, but we're going to hold on to this for at least another day. 16 degrees is the high for the day, and the current temperature right now at the airport. We may tack on another degree before things cool down for the rest of the day. And the winds have been a little gusty at times, so that has been our little price that we've paid. We've had gusts just over 40 kilometers per hour in the city, and that will continue this evening through the overnight and tomorrow as well, but it will also help temperatures get even warmer tomorrow. So 8 degrees at 8 a.m., then 18 is possible, even 19 tomorrow as our high. Mainly cloudy though, so less sunshine and still another windy day. That's your 24-hour forecast brought to you by 5th Avenue Volkswagen, where you can win your ride. See dealer for details or visit 5thAvVW.com. Ian?
Thanks, Danielle. It happened early this morning, and the security video tells the whole story. Still to come, a robbery at the camera store, thousands of dollars worth of goods taken. And it's happening far too often on local roads. Pedestrians struck by vehicles, and sometimes the results are fatal. Also, if you have a news tip, text us at 10400. A large grass fire started around 10:30 this morning near Airport Trail. Flames and lots of smoke could be seen just west of the Deerfoot. By the time firefighters put the flames out, an area about the size of 2 football fields had burned. The cause is still under investigation. Police are asking for help from the public after a hit and run in Mahogany injured a pedestrian over the weekend. The 71-year-old woman was taken to hospital with multiple fractures and bruises. It happened around 6 p.m. on Sunday at Mahogany and 52nd Street Southeast. Police say the woman was walking east in a marked crosswalk at an intersection with traffic lights. A man driving a black Jeep Patriot turned right from Mahogany Street onto 52nd Street, hitting the senior with the vehicle and then driving off.
The way things are these days, there's doorbell camera. You can almost be seen everywhere that you are. You're not fooling anybody by driving off. And again, just try to imagine that the person that you believe that you've just hit is your mom or your sister or your kid.
Investigators ask anyone who may have seen the crash, the driver, or got dash cam footage to contact them. Police say there have been more than 300 pedestrian crashes and 11 pedestrian deaths on Calgary streets this year. And one of those collisions happened last night. Someone walking near the Whitehorn C train station was hit by a vehicle. They were taken to hospital with minor injuries. It's the same location another pedestrian was hit a few days ago. Police say a suspicious death in June is now considered a homicide. On the afternoon of June 15th, Cody Mitchell Morrow was found in medical distress after an assault in Pine Ridge. The 52-year-old was taken to hospital where he later died. Police say they are still investigating the circumstances leading up to Morrow's death and would like to hear from anyone with details. A thief broke into the camera store overnight, stealing thousands of dollars worth of equipment. Fittingly, it was all caught on camera. It happened just before 3 a.m. at the store on 11th Avenue Southwest. This footage shows the thief targeting the high-end Sony and Nikon showcases, smashing glass and breaking locks. The robber filled a hockey bag with around $100,000 worth of equipment before fleeing the scene.
It's always hard not to take it personally anyway, but you know, we are indeed a local small company, and yeah, that impacts us all. It impacts, we run, like everyone, we run on real tight margins.
The store is offering a $5,000 shopping spree in exchange for information that leads to a conviction, and they're hoping people can keep an eye out for the stolen goods online. A list of what was taken and the serial numbers are on their website, thecamerastore.com. Tips should also be submitted to police or Crime Stoppers. All right, let's hope they catch them, indeed. Okay, it's actually cooler weather by the weekend. We've done pretty well throughout the week, though.
Yeah, we did. This was a stunning work week. So maybe you enjoyed it by going for extra walks or hanging out on a patio. You know, voting was a little easier, considering people had to line up and it was nice weather. And, you know, there's more Jays games and stuff like that and fun things to enjoy. So the weather helps when it's this nice. Absolutely. And we're going to hold on to this right through, well, it won't be as bright necessarily tomorrow, but we'll hold on to some warmth right through Saturday. And then, yes, things will be quite different. Okay, 15 degrees is the temperature right now in the city. 16 in Drumheller. We have high teens, Brooks and Medicine Hat, mid-teens, Lethbridge, Milk River, and sitting at 12 in Pincher Creek, just 9 in Banff. All right, so it was a bit of a gusty day, especially south of the city, but even Calgary had gusts over 40 kilometers per hour, so that's noticeable, absolutely. And around that in Medicine Hat as well. Lethbridge got closer to 70, and it was 70 as a max gust in Pincher Creek. You can expect similar wind gusts to go through tonight and tomorrow as well to what you're seeing here. So not much of a change in the wind, and conditions are going to change a little bit too. So these clouds are going to roll on in. It will be mainly cloudy, Lethbridge up to Calgary for tomorrow. Should be a little more sunshine in the Pincher Creek, Crowsnest Pass area and off to the east, but there should be a cloud deck Calgary down to Lethbridge. I'm going to show you that in hour by hour here. And to advance this, you can see tomorrow, mainly cloudy down the QE2, Highway 2, through Calgary to Lethbridge is what you can expect. When we're looking at moisture, again, the mountains are going to do a lot to hold off that moisture onto the BC side and all that activity, but it will spill over a little bit. So Saturday night is when we're looking at snow for the high elevations in the mountains. And then we are looking at a little bit that spilling over to Pincher Creek, Crowsnest Pass, and even into Lethbridge. And guess what? This is going to shift up to Calgary. So around that midnight hour, Saturday night and through Sunday, we're looking at getting a little bit of moisture in the city. But this does clear out, so it's really just an overnight thing. And yes, there may be some wet flakes involved with some snowflakes involved with that as well. 18 degrees is our high for tomorrow. So yes, we're not going to see as much sunshine tomorrow. Yes, it will still be a little bit on the windy side tomorrow, but it will be even warmer tomorrow with that high of 18. And then we're going to slowly start our decline. So 14 degrees on Saturday. Again, we'll get some sunshine on Saturday, but we're also also looking at the rain and wet snow possible Saturday night. Then Sunday, things start to clear out, but we're going to hold on to somewhat cooler temperatures, as you can see here. So we're not going to get any high teen temperature days for Sunday and next week. We'll either be in, our daytime highs will either be in those single digits, or we'll just get into the double digits at 10. So that's what goes for Sunday, just 8 for Monday, and 10 degrees by Tuesday.
The Alberta Medical Association says the cost of barriers to the COVID vaccine will likely be in the tens of millions. The AMA says having to pre-order and pay out of pocket will result in fewer people getting the shot. It estimates if even 5% of Albertans, or about 250,000 people, forego the vaccine, it would mean more than $65 million in spending on hospitalizations alone. At 20%, that cost rises to $262 million. The numbers are based on a 15% infection risk, which the AMA says is a plausible scenario based on wastewater data from last year.
Vaccination offers a strong return on investment, and we actually think that it's prudent to ensure that a public health program that is designed to prevent illness needs to be robust, and we need to remove all the barriers.
The province says its COVID vaccination plan is in line with guidance from the National Advisory Committee on Immunization, which suggests COVID-19 vaccination should be considered optional for healthy, non-senior adults. It's a change in ownership today at WestJet. Next, the foreign airlines that now own a quarter of the Calgary-based airline, and what that could mean in the future. Take a bigger stake in Canada's airline market. Joining me is Faisal Carmeli, Portfolio Manager with the Popwich Carmeli Advisory Group. And Faisal, what happened on the markets today?
Well, it's a tale of two stories. First of all, on the U.S. side, it was tech stocks that pushed the U.S. markets in positive territory. Here in Canada, it was commodities, primarily oil, WTI, up over 5%, sending up those energy stocks well over 2% on average.
In the meantime, foreign airlines now have a 25% stake in WestJet.
Yeah, when you take in Delta, Korean Airlines, and Air France KLM, they now together own 25% of WestJet, which is a private company. Back in 2019, Onyx bought them, and then they sold 25% this year. I would not be surprised, and the logical decision here over the next couple of years, Onyx to put another initial public offering and allow WestJet to go become a public company one more time. For us passengers, no big change when you're traveling domestically. You're not going to see any big savings with foreign buyers coming in, but you will see some opportunities if you're a business traveler or an international traveler with the partnership of these three companies. So get ready. No savings for domestic travel, but possibly for international.
Faisal, thanks very much.
Thanks for having me.
Boeing is making an investment in Calgary's technology sector. Today, Boeing and Calgary-based ConvergeX signed a deal committing $2.7 million to establish the Expand Canada Commercialization Centre. The goal is to find partnerships between the military, aviation, and other sectors and commercialize technology.
We see opportunity to cross-collaborate, whether it's agriculture, whether it's life sciences, whether it's cybersecurity or quantum. There's a massive opportunity for us to be able to connect these ideas and technologies and transfer them to multiple sectors.
And it's not necessarily new tech. It could be already commercialized tech. So, for example, like an oil-water separator out of oil and gas into shipbuilding. It can be, or it could be a radar system out of defense into energy and mining. It could be a variety of different things.
Boeing's investment is part of an agreement with Ottawa after the federal government bought 16 Boeing maritime patrol jets to protect Canada's coastline. The federal government tables its bail reform bill. Here's Tara Nelson with a look ahead to CTV News at 6.
Hi, Ian. The legislation would make it harder to get bail for a variety of offenses, including vehicle thefts and breaking and entering. It would also allow consecutive sentences for violent and repeat offenders. Coming up at 6, some Calgary victims of crime share their thoughts on the proposed changes. Also ahead, a recount is underway now in Calgary for Ward 12 councillor. Coming up, we'll tell you why Elections Calgary decided one was warranted. Ian.
Thank you, Tara. Local artists are asking for your support this weekend. The Fall Palette Art Show and Sale is at the Trywood Community Association. Oil, pastel, and mixed media paintings are just a few styles artists will be selling for various prices. The show runs from 5 to 8 on Friday and 10 to 4 on Saturday. Admission is free, and the first 30 visitors will receive a free mini painting done by Calgary Community Painters Society artists. Well, we're going out on a high note to end the work week. Right now in Calgary, it's mostly cloudy and 15, but it will be even warmer tomorrow. Danielle has details coming up. We're always happy about Friday.
Yeah.
Under any circumstance. Even happier with the weather we're getting tomorrow.
Warmer tomorrow. In fact, the next 2 days are pretty fantastic. If you like this warm.
I do.
Me too. Who doesn't? I guess I shouldn't say that. Lots of people are hoping for other things. Anyway, 15 degrees is the current temperature. 16 was our high today. 9 is what's normal. So yes, we have been well above normal, and we will be even further above normal tomorrow. 18 degrees is the expected high at least. Some models are suggesting 19 or 20. We will have more cloud cover, so it won't be as bright, and it will be on the gusty side, mainly up to 40 kilometers per hour, but at times we could even gust closer to 50. Saturday, more sunshine expected, not quite as warm, but still toasty enough, and some rain will kick in on Saturday night, but clear out in time for Sunday.
Thank you, Danielle. The teachers' strike has forced a local organization to pivot and make some changes to its Classroom of the Crosses program. Valor Canada is setting up a display at Calgary's Field of Crosses on Memorial Drive. Most years, hundreds of school children come down here to learn about the sacrifice of young Canadians in war. But now, with the strike, the organization is pivoting to Plan B.
And Plan B is to open up the tent and the classroom and the field for all Calgarians to come down. If they have students at home, children at home, we'd love them to come down to the Field of Crosses.
And we have to recognize that in spite of the fact that we live in I think we live in the greatest country on earth, these wars continue, and young people and families are touched every day.
The display will also include an exhibit inside the Calgary Curling Club nearby, focused on Vimy Ridge. Sunrise and sunset services at the Field of Crosses begin November 1st. Thank you for joining us. Now here's the early edition of the CTV National News.